Yeah, it's awful.
Remember how Paris Hilton got richer and more famous with two simple words? That's hot. It's crazy that she is now branding herself as a happily married mom of two kids who are extremely close in age. But is that the real truth? People are saying that Paris is not actually a very good mom at all, and the truth about why is finally coming out. One vicious report claims that Paris treats her babies like designer handbags, and a Paris in Love subreddit made the shocking allegation that she's sadly not involved in her kids' lives. Thankfully for Paris and her brood, one source with expert knowledge claimed that she's besotted with her kids. In other words, she dotes on them and takes plenty of pictures and videos for our social media pleasure. Bravo TV reported on Paris's dreams of motherhood and joked, being a mom? That's hot. Besides the teasing, they did a quick timeline of when Paris got married and finally achieved motherhood. Paris shared her desire to be a mom on the first season of her reality show, Paris in Love. She'd gotten engaged to her now husband, Carter Reum, and Bravo explained that they were rushing to the aisle because they were so excited to be parents. Paris married Carter in November 2021. Bravo teased they waited a little bit to expand their family. In other words, jet-setting Paris and Carter traveled the world for a year before baby fever truly hit. Then they had kids. In 2023, Paris added 2 little bundles of joy to her life in under 10 months. By January 2023, her adorable son, Phoenix Barron Hilton Reum, was hers. Shockingly, Paris added a daughter, equally precious, London Marilyn Hilton Reum, to the family in November 2023. Paris claimed to be over the moon with happiness. However, it only took a month after Phoenix's arrival for Paris to get shaded for her allegedly sketchy parenting skills. In February 2023, a scathing opinion piece appeared in Live Action, accusing Paris of treating her kid like a designer handbag. A subheading in this piece lectured, "Children are not accessories," and this website laced into Paris so badly, it will shock you. Paris is now in her 40s, and she used surrogates to carry her children to term. Live Action used Paris's quotes against her. When Phoenix arrived, Paris gushed that it had always been her dream to be a mother. If that's the truth, why did Paris bluntly reveal to Glamour UK magazine that she'd once ended her own pregnancy? Paris admitted to Glamour that she didn't feel ready to be a mother in her 20s. She complained that she was a kid and she wasn't ready for it. But when Paris was ready, she bragged about making her baby dreams a reality. Paris told Glamour, "I have 20 boys." But what did she mean by that? It turns out that Paris meant the reproductive technology process, in vitro fertilization, IVF. She said that she just went through the process again a month ago, and she was waiting for the results to see if there were any girl embryos. Live Action also did the math on how much IVF treatments probably cost Paris. This number is staggering. Live Action calculated the family planning cost based on Paris and Carter freezing multiple embryos after 7 rounds of IVF. They wrote that 1 round of IVF can cost up to $30,000. It sounded pretty clinical when Live Action described the newly fertilized embryos getting implanted into a hired surrogate. After that, they revealed the bill for services rendered. They wrote, given the cost of surrogacy plus IVF, Paris could have spent at least $200,000 to create a baby in a lab. In December 2023, the Paris in Love subreddit posted a thread about her apparent lack of involvement with Phoenix and London. If you didn't see this thread, you might not believe it. The OP was shockingly trying to defend Paris as a mother in the celebrity and ultra-wealthy world. The OP claimed that it's very normal for a nanny to raise the kids of celebrities, but according to them, it's not really talked about. They later claimed to feel kind of sad about how Paris is getting ripped apart, and their opinions that Paris was brave and genuine for showing nannies doing all the hard work on camera. Then the OP gave an example. They alleged to have seen people who are nowhere near as famous as Paris with 2 or more nannies caring for the kid 80 hours a week. They said the parent essentially visits the child in these situations. They wrote, no diaper changes, no overnight wake-ups, no feeds, no outfit changes. And that's stone cold. And many exhausted new parents might throw shade at Paris if that's her motherhood dream. Many users on the subreddit threw shade at the OP for their opinion. A user wrote, they'd be more understanding if Paris literally stopped acting like she doesn't have a choice. They were absolutely infuriated about Paris displaying her unlimited wealth with no real reason to keep working instead of bonding with her baby. They believe she legitimately chooses to leave Phoenix all the time anyways. This user lit into the OP in Paris for allegedly ignoring everyone in her life, telling her to take time to bond with her baby. They believe that she had decided It's basically too boring for her to care about. Whether or not that's the real truth, this user thought that was why Paris was getting backlash. Another user chimed in with what people are most upset about, although they seemed a bit more sympathetic to Paris. They described her as looking like she was in an obvious state of panic around her newborn son. This user felt that Phoenix had definitely bonded with his nanny. Poor thing. They also thought Paris looked panicked because she had zero practice as a mom. Whether they were joking or not, this user wrote that Paris wouldn't be able to provide comfort if her life depended on it. But they were teasing later in this comment because they included a smirk emoji. They wrote about Paris having 2-minute visits with Phoenix at several weeks old. In June 2024, the U.S. Sun spilled some tea on the Paris bad mom rumors. The Sun claimed to know the real truth after getting a body language expert to study Paris's maternal mood. You won't believe this, but the expert compared how Paris treats her kids with how she adores her dogs. The expert is Judy James, and at first, Judy's judgment didn't seem to be going in Paris's favor. Judy examined photos and videos of Paris with her kids and compared them to snuggly kissy poses with her designer dogs. Shockingly, Judy said that Paris held her kids with limp hands and not near her face. The Sun also reported how people have reacted to the endless social media content of Paris on vacations with her family. Someone commented on Instagram, "It always seems like she doesn't want skin-to-skin contact with Phoenix in London." They added, "The pictures feel uncomfortable." Judy's verdict was no one would expect anything different from Paris than these poses. She added that Paris always styles and poses with her children like fashion shoots. Shockingly, despite all this, the body language expert concluded that Paris has moved away from her old egocentric self, posing with her dogs like they were props of love. Judy even alleged that Paris is putting the babies first. Judy claimed that Paris is telling the world how besotted she is with Phoenix in London by her sustained smile as she gazes down at them. A besotted mom, 2 beautiful kids, and 0 diaper changes? That does sound picture perfect. But anyway, what do you guys think about all this? Is Paris a good mom, or should she step it up a little bit? Let me know in the comments below.